Oh, look at this. It's a podcast. I know.
What?
Watch this. 3, 2, 1. Well, welcome to Geekodrome. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am Jon, and over there, I'm joined by Stugots.
Yo, what's shaking?
Not much. I wanted to open with a little Bob Dylan inspiration tonight because I'm going to see him live, Bob Dylan and his band, tomorrow night.
Wow. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so, with all of the great musicians that have died in 2017 and 2018.
Yeah. You got to catch them while you can.
Yeah, that's kind of been the theory. A friend of mine and I have been floating. And so it's like, I've never seen Bob Dylan. And the man is a genius. You may not be able to understand a word he says anymore, but he's still a genius. So given the opportunity that he's playing in New York for several nights this week, I got me some tickets for tomorrow night. And, I'll see some Dylan. Because I missed out on Tom Petty last summer. I never got to see Prince. I did see Bowie with 9 Inch Nails, so that was pretty epic. And there are others. Some I've seen, some I haven't.
Yep.
So, is there anybody you'd like to catch before they pass?
Yeah.
I hate you. Who?
No, you broke up. I didn't get the last thing you said.
The part where I went, oh, I hate you, or who?
No, yeah, I didn't hear what you said about who, what.
Oh yeah, no. Who would you want to
missed
catch that you've never seen?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, like I said, that didn't come over.
Oh,
man, I'd love to see Elvis if that was possible.
Yeah, well,
the show
decades off.
Yeah. As far as recent,
or at least living.
Living. I thought you meant who passed that I would like to have seen that I didn't. All right.
Well, I guess either way then.
I'd love to see Guns N' Roses. I'd love to see NWA or Beastie Boys, which I know you can't see Beastie Boys. Oh, Run DMC, without a doubt. Run DMC.
Unfortunately, you can't see them anymore either.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just can't see him with Jam Master Jay.
Yeah. I mean,
I always get the feeling, though, that Run and Daryl Mack don't speak anymore.
You think so?
It's just the vibe I get from following them both on Twitter for over 10 years now, where it's like they really don't converse, and they're doing totally different things in their lives, which is fine. I mean, that happens, but there's never a what's up?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're both legends, to be sure.
I mean, even you and I tweet each other once in a while.
Yeah, well, just how much we hate each other.
Yeah.
Or how you should be wearing jorts.
Yeah, I don't wear jorts. I don't even own a pair of jorts.
Yeah. But yeah, so I saw DMC at New York Comic Con last month.
Mm-hmm.
He was very happy to be among the people talking comics and rap and whatever.
He has a comic book with Marvel, I think.
It's not Marvel, it's indie. It's called DMC.
Oh, okay.
But he's been going to New York Comic Con for 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
And I've seen him there and whatever. Maybe it's even 5 when I had the comic book podcast and I couldn't get an interview with him, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, so it's been a long time. But
it's been a long time since I rock and rolled.
I don't know. So I have seen Guns N' Roses 3 times though. I saw them in 1992 with Metallica. I saw them early 2000s when it was Axl and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw them last summer, 2016, when they started that tour that's still going.
It's still going, yeah.
The reunion. But I mean, where's Izzy?
Nobody knows.
Don't you cry tonight. Don't you cry,
baby,
tonight.
Someday, and don't you cry.
Come on. Izzy was the genius behind that band.
Yeah. Izzy Stradlin.
Because the whole band falls apart as soon as Izzy leaves.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Like, what'd they do without him? The spaghetti incident?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they fell apart. I mean, obviously the band had been fighting for longer than that.
Long time. One of the first, I think the first real record I bought was Appetite for Destruction. If I remember correctly. It's the first, Guns N' Roses was the first band where I knew every member of the band's name and instrument. You know, like I knew what their role was in the band.
Yeah. And then they broke up, and they've got other guys and whatever. But
and then you had Velvet Revolver.
Yeah.
Which I dug big time. I liked what they did.
Yeah, they were pretty good. Slash the Snake Pit.
Yeah, Slash the Snake Pit was really good.
I saw them open for AC/DC back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was they were right. You know, like nobody knew any of their songs, but you know, but just to see Slash like just tear it up on stage, oh man, just watching him live is just amazing.
Yeah,
it really is. So the other thing that I'm in the middle of doing, besides getting ready to see Bob Dylan, is I'm in the middle of watching Punisher.
Not in the middle of watching Punisher.
Oh?
Because I've watched them all.
Wow. So
all 13 episodes, which is
I made
a
it through 8
stretch.
so far. Yeah.
Okay.
I had stuff to do this weekend.
Yeah, so did I. I worked 40 hours in 3 days.
Wow. And you still had time to watch 13 hours of TV?
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. Guess what I didn't do much of?
Sleep?
Yeah. Exactly.
So what did you think of The Punisher?
Well, you know how I always say Marvel series are 2 to 3 episodes too long?
You thought it was 2 to 3 episodes too long?
Well, you know how I always say that about Marvel series.
Yes.
That is not true in this instance for me. All 13 episodes worked for me. I enjoyed it. I did get a little pissed off on Saturday when I was on episode 6. And I don't scroll through and like look at all, you know, to see how many episodes there were. I just figured there was 10. And I was like, well, they're not repping this up in 4 more episodes. There's just no way. And then I went and I looked and I was like, oh, there's 13 of these motherfuckers.
And yet you still survived.
Yes.
So what were your opinions on the 13? And please don't spoil the ending for me.
At first I was afraid. I was petrified.
Ooh.
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was all very good. I liked the ending very much. I don't think it set up much for a second season, which is fine. I don't need a second season, to tell you the truth. Unless he was going to go to war with S.H.I.E.L.D. in a second season. That would be the only thing I'd want to see.
Well, there's no S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore.
Well, there is
S.H.I.E.L.D.,
though.
Well, I guess, yeah, there's the kind of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. return to S.H.I.E.L.D. thing. But
yeah, I'd like to see that. Or I'd like to see Frank Castle recruited to run a new updated S.H.I.E.L.D. And we'd get Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 2099-esque. Yeah, I liked the way it ended. It did set up one thing for a second season, which I won't give away. But again, okay. I hope they don't do a second season. I think it was fine the way it was.
Well, if the rumors of them ending all Marvel series in 2019, then
it was
there
fine.
Won't be a second.
Yeah,
unless it moves to the other network. So I got through 8 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, I wish there was a big bad villain.
There is.
That would. I mean, Pretty Boy being the bad guy is not. No.
You'll see.
It's somebody I haven't seen yet after 8 episodes?
Maybe.
Interesting. So, because I always like Punisher when it's a bit over the top. Like
Yeah.
he's fighting Jigsaw, or things like that. Or it's the crazy supervillain ish, and it's not just shoot lots of people.
Well, this definitely is different than comic book Punisher.
Yeah, I mean, there have been down to earth stories like this as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really 3 storylines through the whole thing. So there's Microchip's family.
Yeah.
There's Pretty Boy in the military.
Yep.
And well, I guess the cops are kind of still part of that one.
Yeah.
And the PTSD. So
Yeah.
really, it's 3.5.
PTSD is this series does a great job of showing people what it's like to live with PTSD.
Yeah. So I think that's done really well, and it's important to the series. I'm hoping there's a payoff to the kid who, like, I guess we can spoil since it's only half the series. The kid stabbing the older guy. That kid. He needs a payoff, and it's just a question of, is he going to tie into everything else?
I don't know.
Well, yes, you do. You're just not telling me.
I know, but I'm trying not to give anything away for you.
I know, but I want to see how it ties in. Microchip's family, that storyline. I get that it's there to bring the Microchip and Frank together and to humanize Frank, but I'm not feeling that story as much.
I wasn't feeling it much either. Even the Microchip character, I understand he needs a sidekick. He needs someone to be his conscience, to ground him, and so that he doesn't get lost to the psychosis of the PTSD. But the character, I liked it better in the comic book when it was just that geeky, overweight guy who tried to chum up to Frank all the time.
Well, the other thing with it is if you don't have a sidekick for Frank, there's no exposition unless Frank's talking to himself.
Right.
So there has to be somebody for him to talk to.
I get that. I just didn't like this version of the Microchip character.
He doesn't bother me that much. But,
One thing I did like about them was when they were driving to Kentucky and he whips out that giant meatball sandwich and Frank is sitting there eating that instant soup, whatever, or rice-a-roni, and he's scooping it and he's looking over, he's like, what do you got? Where's mine? I made that was in the kitchen. Yeah. We have a kitchen? I only see the bathroom and that space where my cot is. We have a kitchen.
Did you make me one? No.
That was fucked up, bro.
That was so funny.
I know the actor who played Frank Castle was on Walking Dead, and I've never seen it. I never will. But, man, does he nail a Brooklyn accent every single time that it comes out.
Yeah.
And he's not from Brooklyn.
No.
He really does nail it.
But, I mean, his regular accent, if you ever hear him talk, isn't too far off. I don't know where he's from.
I think it's Virginia.
Is it?
I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it's definitely like an East Coast. But he has a very gritty voice to begin with. So for him to kind of push to, Brooklyn isn't that far off.
But it didn't sound like it was fake and he was playing it up. On Eat Up, I play up my Brooklyn accent, and I lay it on thick. So that sounds ridiculous. His sounded genuine to the point where I had to look him up and be like, where's this motherfucker from? Because he could have went to Lafayette High School.
Yeah. Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and he's perfect for the role. He really is.
Yeah, he really is.
But, I felt that way after Daredevil season 2. So.
He looks very much like the Punisher that John Romita Jr. Drew in that first storyline of, what was it, Punisher Warzone, when it first came out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he definitely looks like something out of a John Romita Jr. Picture. Just a little less square.
Yeah, yeah.
Something else.
But the nose was, it exactly the way he's drawn it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, John Barenthal was great in Walking Dead as Shane. He's great in this. I'm sure I've seen him in other things as well where I've thought he was good. He's in Baby Driver, which I still want to see.
Oh, that was so good.
Don't ruin it for me. I still haven't seen it.
They all die.
Damn it. And I don't have to watch it. But he's in Wolf of Wall Street.
You would really like Baby Driver.
Yeah, no, so I love Edgar Wright's movies. I just didn't get to see it in the theater, and it's not out on video yet.
So good.
Or it just came out on video recently, so I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I mean, the other thing is I'm so far behind on TV, so I have just a bunch of crap that I haven't watched yet.
What was it? Another thing that I liked about, well, that I disliked about this is that there were no other tie-ins to the other Marvel shows except for Jessica.
Yeah, I was gonna say Karen was there, but that's it. Yeah.
Yes, no Jessica Jones, no Night Nurse.
Well, Night Nurse is kind of the interconnecting thread that brings everything together. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, yeah. So we had one series without her,
and there was an opportunity for a Jessica Jones fringe tie-in, and they didn't do it.
Is it something I've gotten up to?
You didn't see it yet, okay. But I mean, I could give it away without it spoiling anything.
No, don't give it away.
All right.
But Jessica Jones does film up in my girlfriend's neighborhood. I've never seen them filming, but I've seen the posters with the code name.
Oh yeah.
So it's fun watching these. Sometimes seeing like, oh, I've hung out at that bar. And
there's a scene in Punisher where he's talking to Karen by the water, and they are underneath the Verrazano Bridge on the bike path, right where I used to live.
Oh, I didn't realize that was where you used to live.
Yep, right there. It's Bay Ridge.
Yeah, it's like episode 3 or 4. It's pretty early. When he pretends to be homeless and then, does his thing.
Right underneath the Verrazano, and that's exactly where I would walk the dog when I lived over there.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because I mean, this is definitely the least New York of the shows.
Like as far as what?
Well, it's just like using parts of the city and things like that. Like, there's no recognizable New York City landmarks for the most part.
Oh, hell yeah. Domino Sugar Plant. You see that a bunch. The Williamsburg walkway right on the water. You see that in a lot of the scenes. The carousel at Central Park. You see the...
I don't think when was the carousel? Or did I not get that yet?
You'll see.
All right. Because I was going to say, but I mean, yeah, you see them in the background.
Of water. It's any waterfront scene is either on the Greenpoint Williamsburg side or on the Jersey City side. The building that he was working demo as a demolition crew was in Jersey.
Where was that?
That was over in Jersey.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, it's not like. But it's not like this is taking place in this neighborhood of New York. It's just...
Oh, no, it's all over. It's everywhere in the city.
Yeah, it's like you have to know New York to know it, as opposed to like Daredevil, it's this part of the city. Luke Cage is Harlem. Yeah. Jessica Jones is this part of the city.
Nope. Yeah, this was all over the city. Yeah. He's on the Staten Island Ferry in a couple scenes.
Yeah, so it's spread, but again, not except for like certain parts, it's not very New York centric. Even though
it's all of New York.
Yeah.
It's very New York centric. It's just not a neighborhood centric.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah.
It encompasses all of the city.
True. Which is, it's a big city.
Yeah. They don't make it look like it's big though. They make it look very small.
I know. That I've noticed too. But he's not going, because he's also not doing the whole city. It's like part of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Little part of Manhattan. It's like little clumps of the city. It's not like he's going up to Harlem and then going down to Staten Island right after.
Like Microchip's family looked like the house was out on Long Island somewhere, but yet they drive back and forth from their hideout to that house in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's just Queens. But even
no. But even still, you're not getting there in 10 minutes from where they're hiding.
Yeah, unless they're on the same borough, if they're not that far. But that house was nowhere near the water.
No. Like I said, that seemed like it was Suffolk County. Like it seemed out there a bit.
Well, maybe you can go out and get some enchiladas.
Ooh, I'd love that.
Now I'm starving.
I just made enchiladas the other day. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Oh, it was odd that you brought it up.
Well, it was in the last episode I saw where she gave Frank the enchiladas.
Oh.
Right before he and Microchip start drinking. After
Yeah.
he and she start drinking.
Yeah.
Lots of drinking going on.
Lots of drinking.
Rosé all day.
All day.
So where would you rank Punisher in the pantheon of Marvel Netflix series?
For me, it was the best one because I got to sit through them all without getting frustrated. It pulled me in. I wanted to see the next episode. I enjoyed every one of the characters. Microchip, that portrayal got on my nerves, but I saw the function of the character.
Yeah, it's not your version, but that happens.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm all for changing things up. Not everything has to be the way it is exactly in the comic book, but this one definitely does it for me. For me, it's this one, and then Luke Cage, and then Daredevil season 1.
Okay. And then Jessica Jones after that, or?
I guess.
Okay. You weren't a big fan of Jessica Jones?
No. It's like, I get it. You're a bitch. All right. we understand.
All right. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the Jessica Jones. Probably Luke Cage is my favorite.
Yeah.
Punisher. I have to withhold till I see all of Punisher because I need to know if they stick the landing. Like that's really important to me when I watch like a series.
Yes. It's like yes, it builds up, but then
yeah, and Punisher's a slow build. That's not a complaint. That's just an observation.
No, it is. And there are a couple times where I'm like, just get the guns already and start shooting shit.
Yeah. I mean, what's his name? Pretty Boy, whose character name I can never remember, is just fast.
Billy something. It is Billy though.
Is it? I'm looking at the IMDb. Billy Russo.
Yeah, Billy Russo.
Played by Ben Barnes.
From Westworld.
Was he in Westworld?
Yep, he plays the douchebag in Westworld.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
Shocking.
Logan. According to this,
he's typecast.
Really?
Hey, we need someone to come in and act like a giant dick, but be good looking. Hey, get that Billy Russo guy.
You mean Ben Barnes?
Yeah.
Okay.
No one's going to remember his real name. It'll always be the character.
Well, he was in the Chronicles of Narnia as Prince Caspian.
Yeah.
In 2 of those movies. He was in Stardust, although he was...
Stardust.
See, I'm a big Neil Gaiman fan. I'll watch anything of his.
I was quoting Cody Rhodes.
I figured. But, you can't teach that.
No.
So I may have Raw on in the background, and Enzo Amore is front and center.
Oh.
Not a fan?
It got old. It got old really quick.
All right.
I like that they made him a heel, and he's doing the exact same thing. The only thing that's changed is really the guys that he's fighting, and it works. And I think to make it work even one step further, when Big Cass comes back, have him join up with him again and just be outright heels and beat the crap out of everybody.
Oh, was Big Cass injured or something?
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
Okay. I didn't realize. I knew they had broken up.
Yeah.
And then he had disappeared.
That's why they did this with Enzo. Turned him heel, put him on 205, gave him the cruiserweight belt, because Cass is going to be out for about 6 months.
And he now has the Zoe train.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hilarious.
It is.
He's
making the most of. I think he's very limited. He's very charismatic, Enzo. There's no doubt about it. And he's very good on the microphone. He has very little in-ring talent. and they're hiding that as best as possible. So
Yeah.
it works. But
And he can have a very big personality when he wants to.
yeah, it's just
So
he's a typical like Jersey jerk off, and I have no tolerance for it.
but the kids love his catchphrases.
No, though the catchphrases are awesome. You can't teach that, and the way he talks smack on the microphone is very impressive. It is.
Yeah, yeah, he's very entertaining the few times I do catch him. Right now, I happen to left the TV on mute as we recorded, and
I was a very big fan of theirs when they were in NXT.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's the time I was not watching wrestling.
no, NXT is NXT. But I think we're past. Like, I hate to say this and sound like a jerk, but 3 years ago, NXT was unbelievable. It definitely was the premier brand for the company.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I think
Nakamura, Joe, Finn Balor. Then you had Bobby Roode just coming in. It was so good.
Well, at some point we'll deep dive into wrestling. Maybe an episode, maybe a series of episodes. We'll see. But
Maybe
we don't need to
spin-off.
Maybe. So I know you didn't see it, but Justice League did come out this weekend, and we'll
Wednesday night to see it.
Well, we'll do a deep dive next week. There's a possibility I may end up seeing it a second time. It's just because my youngest nephew and I are going to spend some quality time together this weekend, and maybe I'll take him to a movie or something. We'll hang out. We're buds. So I'll just say I liked it. It's definitely an improvement over Batman v Superman.
Okay.
It's probably on par for me with Wonder Woman. And we'll go deeper next week.
Just tell me one thing you really liked and one thing you really didn't.
One thing I really liked, Batfleck. Oh, I need a movie of Affleck as Batman. I'm afraid I may never get it, but I need it.
Yeah, that's sad.
I need it. One thing I didn't like, I really don't like Steppenwolf in this movie. And I love Fourth World, Jack Kirby-ish stuff. Mm-hmm. So,
I've seen a lot of people complain about it online that it was too Kirby-esque reliant. And it's like, well, the dude had the nickname the King of Comics. It's about time someone pays him some respect.
If you say that, then you also have to say Thor Ragnarok was too Kirby-esque.
Oh, people have complained about that too.
I mean, seriously, and every single comic book artist today, and even a lot of the writers probably too, will tell you Jack Kirby is a huge influence on them and their work.
How could he not be?
It's like, I don't like the use of pencils in this comic book.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you sort of missed the point then. If you don't have Stan Lee and you don't have Jack Kirby, you don't have modern comics. Yeah. Although I will say, since you sit through the credits, there are 2 post-credit scenes.
Okay, cool.
As the credits are going, and there's always the thank you to these comic book writers who, we took their stories or they helped or whatever. And then there's a big space. And then right in the middle of it, and Jack Kirby, Fourth World. And then another huge space. So it's literally a screen is blank except for, the middle of the screen is just thank you, Jack Kirby, for Fourth World, or however it was written.
Awesome.
And I started clapping. I was the only one in the theater clapping, but I think people thought I was insane. But it's Jack.
Well, they're accurate.
He's true, but hail to the king, baby.
Yep.
All right. So one last thing. You had sent me a link earlier this week. Apparently, Smokey and the Bandit is getting a remake.
Yes. One of my favorite movies.
So I forgot to write who it was, but it was John Goodman as Smokey.
And Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix as the Bandit.
Yes.
Now, first, can they top Smokey and the Bandit 3, where it was the best Burtless movie ever made?
No.
Well, that's unfortunate.
A remake with Mr. Phoenix as the Bandit will be worse than Smokey and the Bandit 3.
Yeah, well,
there's nothing about him that is charismatic like the Bandit should be.
So you're saying that we should make Enzo Amore the Bandit?
No, I'm not saying that either. You have to be the right type. Listen, John Goodman as Sheriff Buford T. Justice would work. John Goodman as Cletus Snowman would work.
So
for me.
So yeah, I definitely see him as the cop. I mean, he's a versatile actor. He has the right look.
Yeah.
He can pull off a cop.
But if he was going to be Cletus Snow, that would still work.
Now, since I haven't seen the Smokey and the Bandit movies in, I don't even want to know how many years. Which character is which that you're saying?
Cletus Snow is the man who drove the truck in Smokey and the Bandit. He was Jerry Reed.
Okay, and what was his relation to the other characters?
He was Bandit's best friend, and he was driving the truck with all the alcohol on it.
Okay. So that's one thing, that it's not as illegal to transport alcohol as it was.
Right. So you'd have to change it up. It would probably maybe make it moonshine, or maybe still set it in the 70s.
Maybe if they said it, but again, it's not illegal to moonshine anymore, like it was.
Moonshine is illegal.
Is it? I can go to my corner liquor store and get some.
That's not real moonshine.
Oh, okay. So
that's more like Everclear type stuff. It's not real moonshine. Real moonshine, you have to drink with something else, like let's just say grape juice or cranberry juice to cut it, because it's way too much to just drink straight. Real moonshine, if you drink too much of it, will cause you to go blind.
Well, as long as you got a good buzz on.
I know, it doesn't matter.
Needs to see.
But yes, I think that you'd have to set it in the 70s, where now, like a high-speed car chase, now it's just like, well, you get the helicopters, you get the speed of the nail strips out, and and you deal with it as quickly as possible, and it's subdued. You're not driving across the country like they did in 2017.
Yeah, and I mean, they happen in cities. They don't happen in the highway, like the high speed chases. There's just too many ways to stop them.
Yes, today,
yeah. So I mean,
it definitely has to be a period piece.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the other thing with the cell phone problem.
Yes.
Something's wrong? Oh, we'll just pull out the cell phone and the movie's over in 5 minutes.
Yes. That's why if I was to write a movie or TV series, it has to be set back in time. It can't be set in this day and age. It's too easy to rely on technology in a story.
So what would your story be?
You could still do it the same way. Beer, getting it from one part of the country to the other. You could set, if you wanted to just change it up, you could set it in the 50s, where you have, different muscle cars than the 70s muscle cars.
Well, didn't the original Smokey and the Bandit, they were transporting Coors?
Coors, yes, because in the 70s, you couldn't get Coors on the east part of the country.
Yeah. So I mean,
because they didn't have distribution set up,
Exactly.
So that was bootlegging.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm vaguely remembering. Hang on.
It's like when I don't want to say it's like when people who do beer review shows get a beer from Pennsylvania that happens to come in the mail from someone else because you can't get them for sale here where you live in Florida, allegedly.
But if you were driving through, then it's perfectly legal.
That's fine. Except Delaware. Delaware, they're really tough on what comes in and out.
So if you're driving beer from New York to Florida, you got to be really careful.
No, it's more like, hey, here's beer from a brewery in Delaware. Well, I'm going to take some and go back to my house in Philadelphia, don't get pulled over.
Good to know. Good to know.
They're
All
pretty
right.
strict.
So if we have the sheriff, Smokey is John Goodman, where do we see the other two roles?
The bandit, Matthew McConaughey.
I could totally see that.
And Snowman would be Woody Harrelson.
You know, have the two of them been in a movie together like that?
I don't know. I just know they're great friends, and they'd make it work. I know they did that series, that detective series.
Yeah, but the thing with True Detective was it wasn't like it's not like that chemistry that you'd find like in a comedy.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, they were both really good in it, but it wasn't like, hey, we're friends.
Yeah.
Let's go get into trouble together.
So this would be different for them. And you know that they're good friends already, so that's perfect.
And they could both pull off the comedy.
Yeah, definitely. So I would leave John Goodman then as Sheriff Buford. Honestly, those are the best two. I mean, I do have a couple others. Let me pull it up.
Oh, you actually prepared for this one?
Yes. Hold on.
I'm impressed. Yeah, I mean, because I couldn't think of anybody who was good for like the roles. But then again, I also don't remember the movie that well.
Oh man, they are some of my favorite movies.
But I do remember, you know, Bert from back in the day. So,
and it's like that character of Bandit. He's like, and I hate to just use like these kinds of words, but he was an alpha male. He was like he was macho.
Yeah.
You know, a guy like Joaquin Phoenix is not.
No, it's, you know, it's that old you know, phrase, you know, the men want to be him and the women want him.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's not with Joaquin.
No,
like,
definitely not. Oh, shit.
Somebody like what's his name, Joe Manganiello from True Blood. Like,
yes, yeah.
I don't know if he has the comedic chops to pull it off,
but it's that type of guy.
Yeah, he's got that swagger. He's got that look. I mean, the guys dig him because he can be a macho guy. Like, he was the cool wolf guy on True Blood, which is probably the only thing I've seen him in. But and the women just want him.
From the last few days, except for the ones about that. Damn it. Because I put it out on Twitter and I had a bunch of people get to me. And I haven't been tweeting that much. That's the best part. And I had like a bunch of good ideas here.
Well, I mean, it was a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry. I did have other options that I thought worked. 1 second.
So first you broke Twitter, and then
I know.
You know.
I said I haven't tweeted much over the weekend.
Let's see. Did you put them in your replies to that tweet, to the original tweet?
Yeah.
Because
actually had a couple back and forths with people about it.
So I'm looking at your Twitter now from November 15th. You're casting it in your head as you speak. Somebody recommended McConaughey.
Yes.
Goodman can play Snowman. McConaughey's Bandit. Harrelson as Snowman, which you already said. But that's really the whole conversation.
This will have to just tweet all this stuff to you.
Yeah, so you pretty much said everything that was in this little Twitter conversation. Good job.
Thanks.
So, yeah, I mean, I would go watch it. I think there's not enough just fun comedy.
The biggest thing, though, for it is that it's an action movie with comedy rather than a comedy with action. And I think that's a mistake that they keep making with these remakes like 21 Jump Street, Baywatch, and Chips, and Starsky and Hutch. They're going for the comedy. Lethal Weapon, the movies, wasn't a comedy. It was a buddy cop action movie that had comedy.
Very much so. Like, it was... So, I mean, that's my big complaint about, like, the Ghostbusters remake.
Yeah.
If you watch the original Ghostbusters movie and you take out all the jokes, it's a horror movie.
It's a horror movie, yeah.
It's very much like a low-key horror movie.
Yes.
If you took out the jokes from the new Ghostbusters,
you have nothing.
There's really no substance.
No.
And it's, it's a big reason why I don't like that movie. And it has nothing to do with who the actresses are.
No. Because if it's written well, the cast almost doesn't even matter. They just have to pull off the lines, Yeah. So, and if everything about that Ghostbuster remake was a gimmick to get people to watch it. The one thing I could say is I did thoroughly enjoy the black girl from Saturday Night Live.
Leslie Jones?
Who everyone seemed to hate.
She's all right.
Should have been good.
Yeah, she was all right. I mean, what's her name? Kate McKinnon stole the movie, but her character had no substance.
Yeah.
Like, she was the comic relief, which is fine if everybody else picks up the slack.
Right.
And nobody was picking up. Like, there was nobody pushing the story forward in that group.
Right.
In the original, Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd were pushing the story the whole time.
And Bill Murray was just...
Bill Murray was the comic relief.
Bill Murray. Yeah.
Which is fine. It works because he's there. He's your color commentator, He's the guy who's there just to make you laugh while everything's happening.
Yep.
He's the Lothario. He's doing all the silly things. Meanwhile, these are the guys who are really dealing with the ghosts. And then you had Ernie Hudson, he's the audience. So when they need to explain something, it's Ernie doesn't understand.
Yeah, and he came off great asking the questions.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, his character.
The other guys for the Smokey and the Bandit movie, Ryan Gosling can play Bandit, and then you could have Emma Stone as Sally Field.
Oh, okay, that would work.
Yeah,
I was forgetting there was a female in that. So
yeah,
a female lead. Yeah, I mean,
and then for him, it's like you could have Snowman be really anyone at that point, because Russell Crowe would then be the perfect Snowman.
Yeah, that would work. An older, gruff,
Yeah, just like they did in the Good Guys.
Oh, I love that movie.
I love that movie.
Yes, I do. I finally watched that beginning of this year.
And he could pull off the big mustache because he had it in that movie.
And everybody loves a big mustache like that.
Yes. So that to me, it's money. They have all three of those people who have great chemistry. We know that they have chemistry already, and then you're going to throw in John Goodman for good measure. Yeah. Beautiful baby.
Well, I'm curious how they'll take this movie. I'm sure we'll both go watch it, and then complain that it's not what we want.
And I would set it in the 50s. You put Ryan Gosling in a Chevy Bel Air convertible. Right. And then you have Russell Crowe, instead of driving a big tractor trailer, he's driving some sort of flashy bread truck. And they're taking moonshine out of Georgia to North Carolina.
Sounds good to me. And on that note, we'll find out when they make it. I'm sure we'll keep up to date with it if it gets made. Because, again, it's just in talks. It's not, a guaranteed thing yet.
Yeah.
But till then, we have Hot Picks.
Hot Picks. What you got?
Good. So I don't want you stealing my hot pick for this week. So I have to go first because that way I can't say, screw you, you stole my hot pick. Oh, you laugh. But I know you because it's the one thing we talked about this week that we didn't talk about on the show because we both love the Fantastic Four. And there's only been one good Fantastic Four movie. And it was not a Fantastic Four movie.
Nope, it was The Incredibles.
So my hot pick this week, The Incredibles 2 teaser trailer came out this weekend.
Which was pretty damn cool.
It was so awesome. Oh,
yes.
Like it gave away nothing except that Jack has powers.
Yes.
You have powers, baby. And then he zaps him.
Yep.
I'm like, it's awesome. So I am so psyched for this. I figured this is going to be
so good.
So I know Coco is coming out this week, next week, something like that. So I'm sure we'll get like either that may be the trailer that was made for it, or we'll get more of a trailer. But I have a feeling we might get a trailer before Coco. If
I
so,
hope so.
yay.
Yep.
I really have no plan to go see Coco, but
No.
you know, I'll watch that
Although
one.
I do like the trailers for it because it's very vibrant, very colorful, but I will not be seeing the movie.
Yeah, I'll wait till it's like on home video kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's one of those I will watch eventually, but I just won't go to the theater to see.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, unless my nephew goes, take me to see Coco. Then I go. You know. But that is my hot pick.
Excellent.
What do you got for me, Stugots?
My hot pick this week is 360 of Where's Waldo. And
What?
you could just put this in your put it in your Google machine right now. 360 Where's Waldo? And it'll take you to a website that is kuula.co. And then John will have the link in the notes, and John, I'm going to link it to you right now so that you can see it. And it is a complete 360-degree panoramic drawing, and the things going on in the drawing are awesome. You have a couple holding hands. You have someone kicking a soccer ball that's hitting someone else in the face. You have a man burying a briefcase full of money. You have a couple people doing parkour. Superman. You have a Superman-shaped cloud. You have all this cool stuff.
I'm looking at this right now. It's ridiculous.
You have a minion.
This thing is.
You have people doing naked yoga.
Yeah, I see the parkour people. I see that cloud looks
you
like
have
a
Ash.
dinosaur.
You have Pikachu.
Are they in there? I haven't come across them yet. I haven't seen Ash and Pikachu yet.
Oh, you will. They're when you look for the couple having sex in the bushes, and you'll see them.
So this is a fan thing that somebody created, or?
Yeah, this is a dude, Kevin Holler, Hohler. He used to work for Google Maps and their 360-degree photograph technology. And he has it on his website, and it's so cool. It really is.
3-60drawing.com is his website.
Yeah, and that's a instructional website on how to draw 360-degree photographs.
Yeah, and then he's hosting it on Kuula, Kuula.com.
Yeah, that's .co.
Oh, that's it. I'm looking at it on the Fast Company website, which I can just throw into chat, but I'll have the right link for when the show notes.
There are so many cool things to see in this that you almost forget to look for Waldo.
I know, this is ridiculous. A girl wearing 3 VR goggles punching a guy.
Yep. You have Homer Simpson. You have one of the animals from Where the Wild Things Are. Books.
That's a great book.
By the way.
I have to turn this off because I can sit here and watch it, looking at it for hours.
You can't stop.
I know, but I have to because the show has to end.
You have a Banksy artwork. You have some Space Invaders stuff. It is so cool.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to go out. We're going to hunt for Waldo. And while we do, you can check out more Geekodrome on geekodrome.co. Subscribe to us on the iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating. We'd appreciate that.
Yep.
You can find us on Twitter at GeekodromePod, on Facebook at Geekodrome Podcast. I am John. I am on Twitter at JustJohn.
Yep.
He's Stugots. He is on Twitter at Don Stugots.
Yep.
And skip that part. And he does host the Eat Up Show. Just some notes I had left in there that shouldn't be there anymore. And he also hosts the Eat Up Show.
Tomorrow night, Eat Up. I don't know what time yet, but on the Facebook, so go to the Eat Up Show, and I will be making my best side dish for Thanksgiving.
What's your best side dish for Thanksgiving?
Bacon fried corn with garlic, cheese, mashed potatoes.
Yum.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Send me some of that to put on my Thanksgiving table.
Oh,
Get it here by Thursday.
You won't get it. There's no mail on Thursday. It's a holiday.
So get it here by Thursday. If you overnight it, get it
I
to me
will
Wednesday
overnight
night.
it Wednesday. You won't get it till Friday.
Bastards.
There's no mail Thursday.
Those bastards. Damn it. I guess I'm going to go to bed hungry. Just filling up on turkey instead.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's been this week's Geekodrome. So until next week, it's been... Cheers!